I am so privileged today because I get to introduce you to a man who has helped my wife and I achieve massive changes in our lives through proper professional advice and being there for us when we need them. Horizon Health Network started in 2016 as a personal training company for Erin. His vision is to provide people who, like you and I, want to change their lives. He does this by providing relevant, tailored advice and assistance for pretty much every aspect of his clients' well-being. Erin, welcome to From Fat to Fit at 40 Plus. It's great to have you here.
Thank you for inviting me. It's so good to be on here with you.
Can you tell us a bit more about how and why HHN came into being?
Well, in a nutshell, HHN came into being through my own journey and finding people needing help. In the process, becoming a personal trainer, a kind of a vision or a dream or a desire that I had was to be able to provide health and well-being for people, for more than just their physical well-being, but their mental, emotional well-being, their spiritual well-being, because I'm a minister as well, and for the world that they're in. So their relationships, so social well-being, their economic well-being, and also their occupational well-being as well.
It is actually great to know that you can empathize with your clients like me. What's the first thing you did to start the change in your life?
It all really began with a prayer, really. I used to pray for the miracle, which never happened. And one night actually, I should say, I said, I just prayed the simple prayer. God, I know the fat's not just going to fall off me, but if you can help me overcome the obstacles in my mind, I will do it. And from that moment, from that prayer, everything was put in place where I began to understand really that I am a miracle. God created me a miracle. And I began to change my lifestyle with right eating and with consistent exercise.
So in that one moment, after that prayer, everything changed.
Yeah, so in 6 months, I lost 4.5 stone of weight, kept it off, and began building muscle, and we're coming up to about 10 years of healthy living. So literally, the day after that prayer, everything began to change.
Now, what process do you initially go through with somebody who's come to you at first? Can you client?
Well, so what I do is I meet with the candidate or the person like yourselves, you and your wife, and meet with them, find out what the goals are, the desires, to see if the desire is just a desire or if it is what I call, they have the click, where kind of clicks in the head that I've got to do something to change my life. So after that discussion, the first thing I ask is, what's in your cupboards? As you know, I've asked you and your wife, because it's so important to understand that what you put into your body impacts what comes, the outworkings or the abilities that you have to live a healthy life.
I think it's one thing that I've certainly learned, well, myself and my wife have both learned through this, is the importance of diet, what we actually put in, and the realization that the vast majority of things that we put in before don't do us any good. And that's, again, it's been an eye-opener, because I think we were amongst the many who thought, actually, our diet's just like a regular diet. Yeah, it is a regular diet, but it's just not good for us at all. So when you asked us about what do we have in our cupboards, I think initially we thought, well, we're actually doing okay, when it was a case of, oh, no, okay. I know for me personally, it was honey, but stopping that was because it was the first thing I stopped. I think it was probably the hardest to give up. In future, we're going to be going through the physical exercise regimes and how to take the right kind of exercise and how that's important. Can you expand on that a little bit?
Well, when it comes to exercise, many people, I like to use the turtle and the hare analogy. You know, we know the race of the turtle and the hare, where January comes along and all the hares or rabbits have rammed themselves into the gym with all the turtles, and everyone's going, the rabbits are going crazy, and about mid-February you see all the turtles left because all the rabbits had given up. And the reason why I use that analogy is that it's the the building consistently, slowly, of a health regime when it comes to exercise is so important, and how you do it is very important. Many people want results immediately, and through exercise, if you have the mindset of let's get to where I want to be in 3 weeks, it's not going to happen. Because the body goes through so much change before you begin to see the change. The body goes through an entire process of change. And so when it comes to building in the right exercise for you, it's important to understand slow and steady wins the race, because you get to that place where you've worked yourself so much that you tire, and you think, oh, I can just take a little nap here, a little nap there. And next thing you know, you're no longer doing your exercise because you've taken too many naps, that you've got off the race. So yeah, exercise, slow and steady, build it little by little, and you begin to see results.
I think it's also important to recognize that it's not just the exercise, it's not just the diet, it's all those things and more. In the previous videos, we discussed the areas of decision, mindset, and commitment. Where do they rank as important in your view?
So mindset is number one for me, because how many decisions have you and I made over the years thinking, right, I'm going to get this right, I'm going to get this right, I'm going to get this right. And yet our mindset doesn't back that up. So number one is mindset for me. You have to have a right mindset. That's why I call it's the aha moment, or the click, where things click in the head, where you realize, actually, I've got to do something about this. And so therefore the decision comes out of a changed mindset. So then comes out of that decision, then comes commitment. Because if you make a decision, you don't have the right mindset, you can commit all you want. It's not going to happen. So right mindset makes a decision, comes the commitment. And that's where then, for example, you have done very well over the last, I think, 12 weeks. You've been working on this with me in the program I've given you. But it was the mindset before the decision that brought in that commitment. And so that's where I would rank those.
Given what you've just said and given your expertise, I think you'd be a huge asset to From Fat to Fit at 40 plus. Would you be willing to come back next week so we could explore a little bit more about the areas of holistic well-being?
Most definitely.
Maybe go through some basics on how to begin the journey to better health?
Yeah, more than willing to do that.
We'll post a link for your website below. And do you have a Facebook page?
I do. Look for Horizon Health Network through Facebook. You'll find me there. Same with Instagram and Twitter.
Erin from Horizon Health Network, thanks for joining us, buddy. We really appreciate it, and we will see you next week.